That one time.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to call the regular City Prescott Council meeting to order. It is Monday, March 28th at 6 o'clock. Do a roll call. Mike?
Here.
Adam?
Here.
Dar?
Here.
Ben?
Here.
Lindsay?
Here.
And Maureen is excused. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you, everyone. Next item on the agenda is public comments. This council will receive public comments on any issue related to the agenda. Limited discussion by the council may take place. Okay, hearing none. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. City Council minutes from March 14th. City Council organizational minutes from March 15th. Fire and EMS Commission minutes from March 16th. Special event permit approval, healing play at Fairy Wonderland Park throughout the summer from 4 to 7. Special event permit approval, retirement party at Freedom Park, May 17th from 3 to 8.
Motion to approve the consent agenda items 1 through 5.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion on the motion? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried, thank you. Next item on the agenda is reports of standing committees and commissions. Nothing for finance. Planning Commission, next meeting is Monday, May 5th at 6 o'clock. Parks and Public Works, next meeting Monday, May 18th at 5 o'clock. Health and Safety, Monday, May 12th at 5 o'clock. And Personnel, Wednesday, May 7th at 5 o'clock. We still gonna have that without Maureen being here?
And I'm not going to be here either.
Yeah, we're gonna have to reschedule the personnel. I will reach out to the committee members and see what
Okay,
date would
thank
work
you.
best once we know better when Maureen's gonna be back.
And also, it says here it's Parks and Public Works, Monday, May 18th, but Monday, May 19th is what
Yeah,
the
it
date
is. It is, because the 18th is Sunday, right?
Can't have you working overtime on Sunday.
Oh,
Double time.
Lord's Day.
Get that premium.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is communications and new business. Public comments, the city council will receive public comments on any issue not related to the agenda items. Limited discussion by the city may take place. However, no action will be taken on any items, includes receiving written requests, documentation, possible action at a future meeting. Okay, hearing none. Next item on the agenda is Resolution 30-25, approving the City of Prescott Facade Improvement Program. Matt, you want to take that?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So back on March 3rd, as we were ending our expenditure period for TID number 4, the city allocated $300,000 of funds to be covered over the next 6 years to start a facade improvement program. We did that through an escrow agreement with what ended up being First National Bank of River Falls, the local bank in our community. So that was approved. So with that, before you tonight is the review of the actual program and approval for that program, with the funds now being set aside. So right now, based on the fact that the funds are coming from TID number 4, this would be limit the expenditures to just the C1 district or downtown businesses, as they are part of the TID number 4 and part of that approved project plan. Specifically, it calls out exterior improvements to local businesses as a available eligible expense. So in your packet, there's a map that shows that yellow outline of those areas that would be covered, and those are all part of the C1 zoning district. So in terms of eligible and ineligible expenses, I won't cover, I guess, all the ineligible, but just to give you roughly what is eligible as part of the program would be canopy or awning installation or repair, exterior building or accent lighting, exterior painting or residing masonry work, landscaping work to be done as part of the larger project up to 25% of the total project cost, masonry repairs and tuck pointing, removal of architecturally inappropriate or incompatible exterior finishes and materials, removal of barriers to building access for pedestrians and people with disabilities. This would be covered under the ADA compliance regulations. Repair or replace of exterior wall or monument sign, repair or replace of windows and doors, and then restoration of exterior finishes and materials. So basically, ineligible improvements would be anything that is not covered under that. So each grant applicant would be limited to $15,000 as a maximum grant amount per cycle. The idea would have one every year through 2030, so that would be six total grant cycles. So the matching grants can cover up to 50% of the matching funds, with $50,000 being the overall cost. So if a project's only $50,000, a grant would only be awarded for $25,000, and then the business would have to match that at $25,000. Applicants that exceed the $50,000 match applicants can exceed their own $50,000 match, so they can go up to $200,000, but still the grant would only cover that maximum $50,000. So actual application project, there is a sample grant application within the packet tonight for your approval. To apply, a property owner or business would be required to submit that completed application, a project description and goals, a budget breakdown including matching funds. We would require two proposals to have the work completed, and then before photos of the project, and then if applicable, design renderings that could be submitted for review as well. For 2025, since we are starting a little bit late, we would have the project run, or applications run, from September 1st through October 31st, with the award notification going out on December 1st. But for the remainder of the grant cycles from 2026 through 2030, then we'd have it run from January 1st till February 28th, with award notifications going out on April 1st of every year. Whatever projects are awarded, we would then have a signed agreement that would be required by both the city and the applicant. We come before council for approval for that each year as part of that approval. For evaluation and selection criteria, what's being proposed was, once the application deadline closes, we put together basically a facade improvement selection committee, which would be made up of 5 members, 5 individuals, 1 city staff representative, 1 Chamber of Commerce representative, and then 3 community representatives. The big thing is those 3 community representatives, we'd want them to not be members of Plan Commission or other commissions, but also still residents of the city of Prescott. The committee's role then will be to review the applications for each funding cycle and score the various applications, and then based on the project's overall score, we bring the one with the highest score to council for review and approval, assuming an agreement can be reached with that applicant. And then overall program administration, the awarded projects will be granted the funds on a reimbursement basis. So once the project is completed, awardees would be required to submit after photos as well as paid itemized invoices for reimbursements. This is the exact same process that we as a city, whenever we get a grant through the federal government or the state, that's the same process we work through. An annual report will be required then as part of the project completion for each awardee for 2 years, detailing project successes and any feedback they have on the project. So with that, before you tonight is Resolution 3025 approving that program. So turn it over to council for comments or questions.
Matt, just, since the first year is kind of late, what if we have money left over? It is going to carry on to the next year?
Yeah, so if we have any funds that are left over, if we don't get enough applicants, it can carry on for next year and roll into
Just keep rolling it over.
years. Yep.
Okay.
I will make a motion to approve Resolution 30-25, approving the City of Prescott Facade Improvement Program.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion, a second, to approve Resolution 30-25. Is there any discussion on the motion?
Just one clarification, if the program is approved tonight, the 5 members of that committee would be brought forward to council for approval then,
Okay.
if approved tonight, for those to be approved as well to make up and start the committee.
Looks great. I'm excited to see.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried. Next item on the agenda is Resolution 31-25, awarding the bid for McGee Park pedestrian bridge to River City Welding in the amount of $144,900.
Thank you, Mayor. So we are proceeding with the McGee Park project that was awarded to Total Excavating at our March 10th meeting. As part of this effort, a pedestrian bridge is required on the west side, or that would be Waterway Crossing 2 within your packet. There's a map to span the intermediate waterway that experiences seasonal water runoff. The construction of this bridge would be necessary to facilitate a ADA compliant loop, which was proposed. The waterway crossing number 1 has a low enough elevation where it can gradually, and it meets the slope requirements for ADA. So to avoid the cost markups, this part wasn't part of the original bid, with the city council approving it to go to bid separately at their April 24th meeting. So with the bids now in, originally we had estimated that it would cost between $75,000 to $110,000. However, with the bids opened, the low bid did come in from River City Welding at $144,900. River City Welding has completed the courtesy dock and fishing pier for the city of Prescott. The low bid, though, did come in $34,900 more than our estimate. The largest reason for that is the cost increase due to the concrete abutments that we had originally discussed back and forth. Ultimately, though, this is part of a floodplain for a 100-year rain event, which means that a rain event that's about 1% chance of occurring. If we get somewhere between 9 to 10, that bridge would be underwater. So to assure that it would never go anyplace, that's why ultimately the concrete abutments were added to the overall project. So if the council wants to move forward with the approval of the bridge, the funding breakdown is within your packet. It would be a combination of parks impact fees, remaining ARPA funds that are allocated for parks due to be spent by the end of 2026. Due to reporting requirements, these funds are going to parks wages, so their added revenue can be offset by this amount in parks for a total of $26,690. And then the ARPA interest at $57,761, and then the remaining from the capital fund at $4,449. The total breakdown then is within your packet for that total amount of $144,900. If the project is approved, the next step will be for River City Welding to complete the design of the bridge up to a 10,000-pound load limit by a structural engineer, which would be reviewed by our city engineer. So with that, I'll turn it over to council for comments or questions.
I guess I'll just be interested to see what their design looks like. They didn't do a great job with our public dock or our boat launch that they're having to redo. And the public dock is underwater. If the river goes up another 6 or 8 inches, you'll be walking through water to get off that public dock. So just like to see what their plan is on it to make sure that it doesn't have to be redone in a couple of years.
They haven't completed that one yet with the extension, did they? Done?
No.
No, it'll be done in most likely August.
Oh, not till August? Okay. So this one, if we approved it, probably won't be done this year?
It would be done this year. If it is approved, ideally, we'd want the bridge to be done first so that whatever they rip up can be repaired as we're putting in the trail and other things, so.
Okay. I guess I'll make a motion for resolution 31-25, awarding the bid for McGee's Park pedestrian bridge to River City Welding in the amount of no more than $144,900.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 31-25. Is there any discussion on the motion? If not, I'll do a roll call. Mike?
Aye.
Adam?
Aye.
Dar?
Aye.
Ben?
Aye.
Lindsay?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is approval of a tennis and pickleball court resurfacing and net installation to go to bid at Public Square Park.
Thank you, Mayor. So as part of our 2025 budget approval, the city council appropriated $132,000 for the reconstruction of the tennis courts at Public Square Park. The old courts were 2 tennis courts, and we're basically elongating the courts by 30 feet and removing one of the tennis courts and adding 4 pickleball courts as it's being replaced. Contractors will be responsible for the fence work, asphalt paving, surfacing, and installation of the nets. And then, as part of the reconstruction, Public Works will be doing the surface and subgrade work and removing the old asphalt, which you can see within the picture. Some of that work has already started.
Yep.
So the surfacing for the tennis and 4 new pickleball courts is expected to be over $25,000, and since they are new per state requirements, we are required to bid the project out. The project will include the overall surfacing, 13,800 square feet, and then the installation of the nets and posts for the 4 pickleball courts and tennis courts. The notice of bidding is within your packet, and which will be accompanied by the dimensional layout of the courts. The notice will be placed in public, but we'll also be sending it to the following companies: ATA Recreation, CNH Sports Surfaces, and Tennis Court Doctor. So with that, looking for your approval to bring the project out to bid. So open up to the council for comments or questions.
I will make a motion to approve the tennis and pickleball court resurfacing and net installation bid process for Public Square Park.
I'll second.
You have a motion, a second, for the approval of tennis and pickleball court resurfacing and net installation. Is there any discussion on the motion? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried. Next item on the agenda is for approval to the Tourism Committee, Tracy Franick. I'll need a motion for that.
You don't need one yet.
Don't we?
Oh, we do need
Oh,
approval.
okay. I'll make a motion to approve Tracy Franick to the Tourism Committee.
I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the next item is for approval to Planning Commission, Dave Hovel.
I'll
Oh.
make a motion for, oh.
Go ahead,
sorry.
go ahead.
I'll make a motion for Dave Hovel to be approved for Planning Commission.
And I'll second that one.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the next item on the agenda is other business. Council workshop, well number 2 and number 4 engineering report, and discuss potential dates. Anything else on that?
Just looking for your inputs. We could put it at the end of the next council meeting, although it might be a longer night. I'm expecting it probably. So this is going to be the proposed engineering report that we approved CBS Square to do as part of treating for PFAS and looking at what our options are. So I'm expecting it probably take an hour to an hour and a half at least for presentation and then discussion. So I'm not sure if you want to do it after a council meeting or if you want to try to schedule it a different night. Otherwise, so I guess the 2 dates that we were originally looking at were May 12th or May 14th if we want to do it as a separate night from a council meeting.
One night through the week are those.
The 14th, I have a
14th is a
Monday and a Wednesday.
Okay.
Sorry, say
So
that
it's
again.
either
14th is a
after,
fire meeting.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with the 12th. Any talks to do it at the 21st, or is there stuff going on then? There's, I think, a school board meeting that night.
Could do the 21st as well. I just have to check with the engineers to make sure that would work for them.
Doesn't matter to me, either one, 12th or 21.
So you guys want a longer council meeting, or do you want it on a separate night?
I like separate nights, but that's just me. I'll do
Does the
whatever.
21st work for everyone? What time would we like to do that? 5?
5 or 6, whatever you would prefer.
5's good.
Yeah.
everybody good with
Earlier.
5?
Yeah.
Okay,
5 good?
5 on the 21st, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
If it works for the
I'll say, do we
engineers.
need a backup date, just in case?
I'll verify, there's 2 of them, so as long as one of them can make it, I'll verify that the 21st will work for one of them, and if not, we'll reach back out to all of you.
Okay. Okay, there's no meeting Monday, May 26th due to Memorial Day. So, Josiah, did you have anything that you wanted to say?
One,
You have to come up here to the podium. Tell us who you are, where you live, and why you're here.
Hello, everyone. I'm Josiah Franco. I live on 583 Hillside Drive, and a couple reasons why I'm here. One, just wanted to sit and be present in the meeting. Certainly, I've got multiple properties within town and downtown, so the grant certainly is inspirational as we purchased the building, the law office right on 144 Broadway. So we were considering doing some improvements to it this year. However, based on an understanding that this grant is in flight or something that could be approved and moving forward, which it is today, we would suspend those improvements until next year. So, of course, our idea is to do it well and fix what needs to be repaired, in addition to lifting, replacing all the windows and tuck point and things like that. It's a pretty high traffic corner in the city, so it's pretty ugly too. Be nice to get that cleaned up as well. So, and some help with the city, that would be great. And then just another question with respect to some property that the city owns currently, and it's right on Jewel Street. Wondering if there's an appetite, it's the very end on that cul-de-sac, if there's an appetite for the city to, if they have interest in selling that property.
Jewel Street.
So it's really kind of the end of Jewel Street. We'll say it's south of the ball fields, that next block down, all the way in. It's a gravel cul-de-sac, but there is a city-owned lot there. And if there's interested in selling it, if so.
Is that behind the ball field?
It's behind the First National Bank fields.
Oh, the First National Bank?
Yes.
Okay.
So I do have a map of it if you're interested in looking at it. But it's right on Jewel Street. So if you take Dexter Street north and go south from the school, continuing south, it's the first intersection. Jewel would be that road. You would take a left and it's right at the end of the cul-de-sac.
Any idea how big a parcel we have?
Sure do, yes.
I kind of figured you would.
Yeah. It is, I believe it's 1.2 acres. Yes, it's 1.2 acres. There's a lot of topography. I think there's room for one house. And there is a pretty substantial drop-off, heavily wooded area, really close in connection to the walking trails, which probably more inspired my wife and I than anything.
Okay.
So, that
We'll
for
let you know.
consideration.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, once again, is there any other business? Okay, one more thing.
Motion for adjournment.
Second that motion.
We have a motion, a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. We are adjourned.